Yes, the title of this video is not clickbait. I've made over $800 using this Discover card in a very simple way. And I want to explain to you how I did it, so hopefully you can duplicate the process, because as far as I'm concerned, this is just free money. So let's get into it. Greetings everyone, it's Elijah from Financial Anatomy, and this is the place where you'll learn how to take control of your financial destiny. On this channel, we talk about apps that involve money and personal finance, and we're going to be covering exactly how I was able to make exactly $850.78 using what's seen here, which is the Discover Credit Card. Now, before we get into it, full disclaimer, I don't recommend that anyone gets into debt because there are just better options to raise money nowadays. That's why, for my own conscience, I have to mention I have a second channel called the Side Hustler Society, where I cover various ways on how to make money via side hustles. That's my disclaimer, so I can feel good about making this video. But at the end of the day, a lot of credit cards can offer great cashback opportunities if you know how to use them. And you can actually get this for free because, contrary to popular belief, you can make money via cashback with credit cards without actually paying any interest and without your credit score suffering. But you got to be very methodical on how to do it. So that's what we're going to be discussing in this video, and we will be talking specifically about the Discovery card, but technically this could apply to any credit card that offers cashback, but there are some variables that you need to consider within individual ones. So right off the bat, we got to cover how does the cashback system work on Discover. So first off, you do actually have to qualify for a Discovery card and be approved, and then they send it to you. As far as qualifying goes, I'll be covering how to qualify for that in a separate video where I'll just review the overall credit card. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to consider subscribing. That way you'll be notified when that video drops. But going into it, first you got to actually know that you have to turn the benefits on. Yeah, weird, right? So if you just start spending money on this card, you're not going to automatically get cash back. You need to go to the rewards section on the phone or on the website and actually choose use my benefits, and that will have the option to turn cash back on. You can also see from the screenshot that half of the money that was made via cashback was Discovery matching me. So the way it works is Discover will match all your cashback that was given to you your first year of using it. So that adds up to a pretty nice sum if you've been using the card. The way it works is you'll get 1% cashback of each purchase on everything, and certain things throughout the quarter can actually qualify to get 5% cashback. What are those certain things? It actually alternates, so I can't say for certain what it's going to be in any given quarter. Example, you see what it is on the screen for this quarter, but you see it says coming soon for the future quarter. So that's just going to alternate, but it's worth keeping an eye on so you know exactly what will be getting 5% cash back. But truth be told, I didn't really keep an eye on it. I just used the method I'm about to tell you about. Speaking of which, so how exactly was I able to get that much cash back? Well, first, I actually used this card for my short-term rental business, where I rent properties on Airbnb, Vrbo, and I do some direct booking. The reason I did that is because there are large sums of money being moved in and out that account based on the expenses of setting up that business and expanding that business. For example, in order to furnish a full studio apartment, including the bed frame, mattress, TV stand, couch, the amenities, etc., it usually costs between $4,000 to $5,000. I managed to get the cost closer to the $4,000 mark, but that's around how much it costs. Now, if I'm using this to make big purchases like that, you can imagine how it's going to add up over time. I also use this card for things that need to be replaced inside the unit that guests end up damaging over time. A good example is if a pillow is stained because guests spill something on the pillow, I'll need to replace that pillow for the next guest, obviously, and I buy everything on Amazon. The interesting thing about this is Airbnb's insurance will actually pay you for any damages done by guests. So you're getting that money back, but you still spent it on the Discovery credit card. So you still get the cash back, even though technically you didn't spend money since you're getting it back, which is pretty cool. I also use it for gas, and gas is one of those things that every now and then does come into play when it comes to getting 5% cash back. I didn't mention this before, but cashback does max out at $75 per quarter. and once you earn it, you can redeem it at any time. They have a few ways that you can redeem it in the form of gift cards, applying that money to pay down your credit if you have a balance, or they'll just deposit the money into the bank account that you have linked to your Discover account. I think we all know which one that we're interested in, or me personally, I'll just take the cash. Now, about halfway through last year, since I was using the card on a fairly regular basis, purchasing what I just told you I was buying, Discover actually raised my credit limit from $6,000 to $8,000, which gave even more room to use this card. So now that we've gone over how I did it and how the cashback system works, let me tell you my credit setup. So the way I have it set up, I have a bank account linked to Discover, and it usually takes about 1 business day for a payment to go through once you've initiated it. So anytime I buy anything using the Discover card, I always transfer that amount into the bank account, which in this case would be Chime, that's linked to my Discover account. And as soon as whatever I pay for using the Discover card clears in terms of transactions, I automatically initiate a payment to my Discover account to pay off that balance. That way it doesn't necessarily build up, so it won't ding your credit score, and obviously you won't have to pay interest on it, because if you pay it off before the end of the statement period, which will vary from credit card to credit card, then you don't have to pay any interest at all. That's my personal rule for this, because the reason these credit cards give you like cashback and incentives, they want you to use the card, and they're counting on the fact that you're gonna basically screw up and end up having to pay interest in some form. And apparently that business model works because several people do it per year, and this industry is still around. I don't want y'all to be victims of that. I want y'all to be like me and just reap the benefits of just getting the cash back. So that's why I follow that rule of immediately paying something off the moment the balance is posted on the credit card. That also means I don't spend money I don't have. So anytime I authorize a purchase, the money is already in the bank account, and when I make a payment on the Discovery card, then I just move the money from one bank account to the bank account that's linked and make the payment. That's very important. Some things to note specifically about the Discover card is on the 6th, I was about to make it 5, on the 6th of every month, that's when the statement period ends. So you want to be aware of that in case you're making a payment around that time. Maybe just avoid using the card on, I'll say like the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, because those days are so close to the statement period. A payment may post and you may make a payment, but it may not, register yet, because it'll take at least 1 to 2 business days. And then technically you'll run the risk of having a balance after the payment statement has ended, and then you'll have to make that payment plus interest, and we don't want that. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is they report to the credit bureaus on the 12th of every month. So for the same reasons, maybe you might want to avoid making a purchase specifically around the 12th, because then it'll get reported to the credit bureaus. Now that might necessarily not be a bad thing, as long as your credit utilization isn't over 30%, because 30% and under is considered the safe zone in terms of it not negatively affecting your credit utilization. But it's something you just want to know, because it can affect your credit score, and if you're about to make a purchase, you want to have all the information that can affect it going into that. So to be safe, you could say maybe don't make any payments on the 11th or the 12th, or maybe even the 10th if the weekend is involved, for these reasons. And with that being said, that's how I was able to make over $800 in cashback using the Discovery card pretty much for free. Now, if you're actually curious in regards to what are the expenses running an Airbnb or short-term rental business, or just any questions about it in general, I'm actually doing a live stream on that on my other channel, the Side Hustler Society, for our Financial Freedom Friday live stream. That'll be linked in the description in case you want to check that out. And I also have a full playlist on Airbnb on that channel, so you can actually see some important things to know about running a short-term rental business. But minus that, how can you apply this? Well, we have things that we're automatically paying for on a regular basis. This includes bills like groceries, mortgage, rent, etc. I would actually use the Discovery card to pay for some of these expenses, but make sure that there's no credit card charge associated with anything, because if it is, I wouldn't use the Discovery card for that, because we're trying to make money, and if you're paying a credit card charge, you may end up breaking even. I mean, who wants to even get involved in that? Just buy things where there's not going to be a credit card charge. Some examples of this is groceries, any subscriptions you have, potentially gas, as long as you go to the right stations that's not charging some crazy credit card fee. that would actually require some research on your behalf. Pretty much anything you get on Amazon and anything you get online in general, once again, be wary of any kind of credit card fee to make sure you're not getting charged that. And if you are going to get charged that, just pay for whatever you're getting some other way. But in a nutshell, that's how you can maximize the cashback system associated with Discover. But that does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and give this video a thumbs up if you found value in it. Once again, I don't recommend getting into any kind of debt, so please follow the rules or structure I kind of outlined in this video so you can avoid paying any kind of interest, and you can avoid it dinging your credit score even if it is temporarily based on the knowledge of when they report to the credit bureaus and when their statement period ends. Now, whether we realize it or not, credit plays a role in our ability to function in society because that credit score is important to be building over time passively. So if you're trying to actually build new credit, you want to check the video out that's on the screen because it's the easiest way that I've found to build credit since they report to the credit bureaus for this card and they have built-in safety measures to make sure that you're not missing payments. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to get out there and take control of your financial destiny.